Welcome back to the John Mendola Show here on WILK, driven by McCarthy Tire Service, locations in Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, Kingston, Hazleton, and Williamsport. 10-11 here, and we're continuing the conversation, some high school football. And, boy, the Southern Columbia Tigers are doing it once again. And the head coach, Jim Roth, joining us this morning on the show. And, Jim, welcome into the show this morning.
Thanks for having me on.
Well, it's Veterans Day, and we're trying to talk to our local coaches and athletes here and asking you about an important veteran in your life.
Well, that would have to be my father. My father was an Army veteran of the Korean War, and he turned 89 this fall, and I think he missed, since I started coaching in 1980, I think he missed one, maybe 2 games for surgery, for medical procedures. Other than that, he's been in every football game that we've played over the years. And the other thing that was really interesting this year, and I'm not big on personal accomplishments, but it just so happened that I won my 400th game on his 89th birthday, so that was kind of a neat thing.
Wow, that's awfully special, and always great to have a big fan out there and Dad being there for you and being at your games. And last night, another big win, Central Columbia in the playoffs. Tell us about all the things that went pretty well.
Well, Central has had a good season. We beat them pretty handily the first time around, but the score was not a true indication of the game. It was a bit of a tougher struggle the first time. We had a number of third down, long distance, second, third, and a couple fourth down conversions, and we really had to make some big plays to score the points we did at times in that first game. And it was even though it ended up, I think it was like a 42-7 score. Now our defense played very well, and they didn't do much against us offensively. But the positive thing for us after tonight's game, and really after the last 3 weeks, is that even though the offense has been pretty good this year, we feel that we've picked it up and kind of playing at another level here. The running game has improved, and Gage Garcia, who's our top runner, returning starter that rushed for almost 2,000 yards last year as a freshman, just really seems to be, picking it up and playing at another level from where he was previously. And a couple first-year starters in the backfield have come on. And then everything else, that's probably been our area of biggest concern, and that's where we've shown the most improvement the last couple of weeks. But our passing game and our overall defensive play has just been solid all year, and that's continued. So again, last night we had good balance. I think Stone Hollenbach, our quarterback, was over 150 yards passing, and we rushed for over 250 yards. And defensively, pretty much had a dominant effort from that group. So it was a nice win, and be a very interesting district final, because it's the first time I can recall that we're in this situation against a local rival in Mount Carmel.
Yeah, the Mount Carmel Red Tornadoes victorious against Line Mountain, so this should be a lot of fun, and I would think that the fans will get out and check this one out, knowing the strong traditions in both communities.
Yeah, this will be a huge crowd, a lot of interest, and like I said, it's a little unique because we haven't faced someone like that in the district finals, and they've been playing very well. We played them earlier in the season, and it was a tough competitive game. The score ended up something like 28-7, but at the end of 3 quarters, I think it was still within 1 touchdown. We scored a couple times late on them to kind of pull away a bit, but they're a good team. They have some losses, but we beat them the first time around. They lost to Selinsgrove. They lost to North Schuylkill, who was a strong District 11 playoff team. So, and they were all competitive, close games. So it's a good football team, and it'll certainly be a challenge. To come away with a district title Friday.
Always great to talk with Jim Roth here from Southern Columbia, the measuring stick in District 4, and the job he's done on the state level. And Jim, you do a little self-evaluation, scout yourself and the things that you've worked as your formula with your coaching staff over the years. Have you changed a whole lot as far as your preparation during the week and as far as game planning? Or things kind of, when it works as well as it worked for you guys, I guess a lot of it probably is the same.
We've made gradual adjustments over the years. I mean, the one thing that I know that we do a lot differently now than we did back in the beginning or the early days, so to speak, would be just workload. Workload during the week, practice workload, and how much time is spent on the field at this time of the year. I mean, we cut way back, and I kind of, through trial and error and really just dialogue with people at the higher level, whether it be college coaches, a lot of college coaches, and even a couple professional coaches. Football's the type of game that after you do it for so many weeks, the main thing becomes really being mentally and trying to be mentally and physically fresh for games at this time of the year. And obviously, there's preparation, game planning, scouting of the other team, but a lot of it becomes mental and just trying to stay sharp. And again, feeling good and healthy when you take the field after you've been doing this for, 12, 13 weeks plus a couple weeks of preseason. So that's one of the big adjustments. And then the other thing is we're probably more basic than we were years ago in terms of schemes. The other thing that kind of has been more of an emphasis for us is to try to be more simple with what we do on both sides of the ball, and we feel that results in your kids being able to play faster. And then obviously, there was a day where it was almost a rare occurrence for us to put the ball in the air, and we throw the ball a lot more now than we used to. But we have some pretty good players in those positions, so we have to take advantage of that. Absolutely.
We'll go back to 1994 and back in the TV side and covering you guys then. What an incredible group. And here we are in 2017. You guys still doing great stuff. Continued success. Jim, thanks for sharing your personal story about your 89-year-old father who's a veteran. Thank you so much, and enjoy your weekend.
You're welcome, and thank you.
All right. Jim Roth, the head football coach for the Southern Columbia Tigers here on the John Mendola Show. And again, Mount Carmel next week down the road. We'll see if a District 2 team will match up against the Southern Columbia Tigers. We come back, more high school football. Frank Shep talk. George Hawan's going to join us, and maybe a little Dunmore football coming up as well. Take a break. Let's come back here. Let's head out to our local State Farm insurance agent, Michael Griffin. Break like a good neighbor. Michael Griffin is there. We'll be back on WILK.